Hi. This is Anita Hales. And today I have this nice little slide presentation that I made for you about why daily self-improvement is essential for you. A few years ago, there was a really tragic incident. There was a boy who committed suicide, and in his suicide letter, he indicated that he'd made some, rather serious mistakes in his life, and he just couldn't cope with his parents and other people being disappointed in him. He was a young man who had a brilliant future ahead of him. He was really smart, but he had a good family and he had every opportunity, but still he committed suicide. It was very tragic. A lot of parents try to push their kids to achieve. They get them into sports, ballet, gymnastics, educational pursuits. They dole out money for piano lessons and other things. And the one thing that isn't pursued is teaching kids the process of self-actualization. Now, self-actualization is a lofty sounding phrase, but one that needs to be used earlier in a child's upbringing. Well, back in the 1940s, there was a guy by the name of Abraham Maslow, and he developed what is called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So instead of studying people with mental disorders like so many psychologists of the time, Maslow studied genius. His studies included Einstein, Jane Addams, Eleanor Roosevelt, Frederick Douglass, and the top 1% of college students. His findings are generally displayed as a pyramid with the most basic human needs at the bottom. And as the needs at the bottom are met, it allows a person to move to the next level. So here's a picture of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So you can see down there is physiological, then it goes up to safety, love and belonging, esteem, and self-actualization. Excuse me. Abraham Maslow was born in 1908 and died in 1970, and he studied positive human qualities and exemplary people. And in 1954, he wrote a book, Motivation and Personality, and in that he had his hierarchy of human needs. So self-actualization, a person's motivation to reach his or her full potential, as shown in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, a person's basic needs must be met before self-actualization can be achieved. So as the needs at the bottom are met, it allows a person to move to the next level. At the bottom of the pyramid shows physiological needs. These are the basic requirements for human existence: air, water, food, clothing, shelter, sex, etc. If these are not met, human existence fails. You die. Then there's safety needs. There's physical security such as being safe from physical harm, and then there are other safety needs like job security, protection from unilateral authority, financial security, disability accommodations, and so forth. And this is really important to instill as a child develops. And, you can do really well at this or really poorly at this. Humans have a natural urge to belong to groups, large or small. A small group would be a family or couple. And this desire is so compelling that it's common to see an abused woman or child clinging to their abusers. This is why there is Stockholm Syndrome, where a person who has been abducted begins to attach themselves to their kidnapper. Yeah, remember Patty Hearst. People love to create and belong to groups, organizations, parties, churches, gangs, etc. And peer pressure can make a person do almost anything they would not otherwise do. Humans also have a natural desire for acceptance from others and from themselves. This is what's called esteem. People often engage in hobbies and professions that result in fulfillment of this desire. And Maslow said that people with low esteem seek recognition from others. They may feel the need for fame, glory, or other rewards, a row of blue ribbons on the wall. A person with low esteem can't move on to the level of high esteem until they learn to respect themselves over the respect of others. With high esteem, a person seeks strength, competence, mastery, self-confidence, and independence. It gives them a feeling of personal freedom regardless of outside circumstances. And this is really important on your step to self-actualization. And of course, self-actualization, as a person moves through the pyramid, they may have a goal of higher achievement and enlightenment. It's the nirvana of living. It's the level of pursuing your full potential and personal power, and it's something that one works towards continually as they battle the other levels of the pyramid. Maslow said that the levels are not stepping stones necessarily, but they are interrelated and are present in the human condition at all times. You can actually be working on self-actualization while you're homeless. There are times in our lives when one or the other of the pyramid levels need more attention, such as, if you're in a war zone, you're not going to have very much security or safety, and you may lack some of the basic things such as shelter. But working towards actualization can actually improve your chances of filling out each lower level. And that's why it's important to constantly feed yourself with personal development. There are hundreds of great books and courses, even coaching, available to help us. And we live in a day and age when it's readily available. You can go to a secondhand store and pick up a book for 50 cents or $1. And here's some of my favorite ones here, some ones that I've read over the years. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, The Art of Extraordinary Confidence by Aziz Gazipura, and How to Stop Worrying and Start Living by Dale Carnegie. These are some oldies but goldies, and there's some really good new ones coming out too. Just go to Amazon and type in self-help books, and you'll get tons of them. Because we can't completely control what happens to us daily, it's important to keep feeding ourselves personal development food to counteract negative influences. Having a bad day? Go feed yourself some PD, personal development food. Imagine what could happen if employment centers required applicants to attend self-improvement seminars. You think that might change the way some people think? And most people are so caught up with all the lower levels of the pyramid, they never even think about the top level. It's a very few people that actually participate in reading and studying self-help. It's a smaller percentage of the population that does this. So thinking back on our introduction story, would that young man have decided against suicide had his focus been on self-actualization instead of his need to please others? We don't really know. There are many things we don't know, but it seems logical that it would. The pyramid on the right adds 2 more needs that have been added since Maslow published his book. One is cognitive needs, the desire for knowledge and understanding, and the need for meaning and predictability, and aesthetic needs, the need for beauty, order, creativity, design, art, and I would add music to that. And if more people were focused on making themselves better people, the world would be a much, much better place. So I'd love to hear your remarks on this, so leave me a comment and connect with me on social media. You can see some of the links that I've provided here for you. So you can find me on most social media, on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Pinterest. So have a great day, and go out and get yourself a self-help book and start reading and start developing that top pyramid in your life. This is Anita Hales.